People, let me tell you something. Let me put you up on some game. Now, this is how all of this is playing out. We talked about Project 2025, right? And a lot of people didn't really believe about Project 2025. The first thought we have all said is, there is no way, we not going back, we not this, we not that. And some people are still saying it. But what happens, nothing happens. The problem with a lot of people is that you guys are so used to stuff overnight. TikTok, Instagram, everything, and seeing it happen. It is the subtle things and it's the subtle moves that lead and add up to the big move. Project 2025 is a whole thing. So let me tell you how it started. Let's go back to the books. Since when has reading a book made anybody be gay, happy, sad, mad, intelligent for that matter? Because a lot of the Congress people, prior to stupid getting in office, this stupid president we have, prior to that, a lot of them have degrees. And you can tell that they do not use the degrees. As a matter of fact, their biggest degree and the biggest thing that they use is psychology and psychological warfare to make us think that we're crazy. So taking books away and out of the library, no less, is hurting who? Minorities and people that would not have access or may not have the funds to buy the books. That's going back to illiteracy. That's the way it started when we first were bought over as slaves. We could not read. So you're censoring what we read. You're censoring the information that we have. Now, the other thing, so that's one thing. Then there's Roe versus Wade. That got overturned, I'm sorry. So now we're telling women what to do with their bodies. A lot of men like that, especially the Caucasian men, because they were worried about populating. Now, we're doing all of that, but nobody is worrying about or fighting against anything when it comes to rape, molestation, incest, none of that. And those are all the things that were going on before women had rights. The other piece is when we were looking at 2020, the Project 2025, white women, y'all thought that was cool because, hey, it's affecting black people and they deserve it anyway, right? And I'm not saying all, but a lot of you. A lot of white people, period. The segregation, the concern about the blended families. And when I say blended, I'm talking about, no, let me say it right, mixed families. Black and white. Now, you send your daughters and stuff to school to find the rich football player, the black one. But then when they come home with them, then it's a whole different thing. They're coming to dinner. You can't control. It's a whole thing. And now what you consider a pure race is not pure, but it never was pure to begin with because they have been raping black women forever. So then they start trying to, they censored that. They got Roe versus Wade overturned. And you start to look at all of the things. And then the big push with the deportation. One thing about it, let's check this out, Republicans. Republicans have always, usually Republicans are people in the 1%. People get in the 1% and they want to be a Republican. Look at Ice Cube and all the foolishness he talked about, taxes and stuff like that. And they get there and they start to have access to things that they wouldn't normally have access to. Even when it comes down to this fool in office talking about pardon, he's going to pardon Diddy. It's really not about Diddy or he feels like he's been wrong. It's about power. It's about control. He always does things that put people at odds. You got so many in our community that are saying, hey, these women did it, they look, blah, 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 versus women saying, look, we do not always ask for this. We don't ask for it, period. And even when you think we do, men act like them dangling their money and stuff is not going to attract somebody. You do it to attract women. Women want security. I'll be the first to admit that all money is not good money, and some of y'all need to stop But if you're going to put blame, let's put it both ways. And a woman has the right to walk away. She might walk to you, but she has the right to walk away. And you don't have a right to destroy her life because she wants to walk away. Nevertheless, this fool jumps in and he's talking about it. So he's already in a heated discussion. So that means that now black people that were coming against him, now you're divided. It's all a game. And he does it with anybody and everybody to make sure that people owe. So nothing is as simple as it seems with him, because he's always been manipulative and conniving. Think about all of the companies that you do not hear about that cannot even open their mouth, that he bankrupt when they thought they had contracts with his $1 million company. It may have gotten them in the door, it may have gotten them loans, but then they did work and they never got paid. He locked them up in lawsuits, and now they're just out there. You guys jumped on the bandwagon against Kamala Harris, talking about what she did to black men. None of you talked about how he took out a full-page ad against the Central Park 5, and he refuses to apologize because he does not deal with people that he feels is beneath him. So while you're saying, oh, we're not going back, it is already a slippery slope. We're already headed that way. And if you're not looking, then I don't know what to tell you. Then when they did DEI, that threw off a lot of people too. Of course it was targeted toward minorities. But look at where it started. It started with the white women. You know why? Because that's who had benefited from DEI to begin with. And I think it really tripped them out, and it really hurt their feelings, and it made them feel some type of way that when they did it, they didn't hit as many of us as they thought they would. That's the other thing. This man and this administration, now, he has not created anything. He just was able to walk in and exploit what was already there. So by exploiting what was already there, people already felt a certain type of way. They already wanted things to go back. Things were out of control. We don't like people being gay. You know, our children, especially, white families, they were like, oh my gosh, now they're, saying they're part of LGBTQ. So now that frightened them. It's a whole lot. And there are a lot of conservatives, they were getting uncomfortable. So while they don't want to admit it, they don't want to come out and say it, he would not be getting around and getting as much done if he did not have support. Now look how they're drawing the lines to redistrict. They're controlling the vote. Some of you, in all of your ignorance and all of your pseudo-intelligence, you didn't vote. Guess what? If he has his way, you will not get the opportunity to vote. Some of you were concerned, oh my gosh, Kamala is going to tax the 24% on gains and stuff. I had people calling me saying, is that true? And I'm like, are you even in that 1%? No, you're not. But guess what? He was able to manipulate. He was able to get people over, and so you didn't go vote. And now you may lose the opportunity to vote. They're making sure that now your vote really doesn't count. You don't go out to the local elections. You don't know who your council people are. You don't go to the meetings. You don't do any of that. And now we are on the slippery slope back to where we said we would never go. Be careful of what you say. You're always looking at it one way. That's the way we do when we think about business. We always think if it doesn't start and it's not booming, then it's not happening. We don't see the small growth. We don't see how things grow on a regular basis. We don't see it. We don't know it until it's there or until it's gone. And we're on the slippery slope back to what you said could never happen. It's been your girl, keeping you informed, pointing it out, calling it out. Now you got to do your part. We still got to fight.